We good? Are we good? I would like to call this public hearing to order. It is Tuesday, May the 13th at 5:30. This is a public hearing at which time Municipal Council will receive both written and verbal presentations from citizens in attendance concerning amendments to Bylaw 035C, Municipal Planning Strategy, and Bylaw 049A, Municipal Wide Land Use Bylaw, to include new sections outlining regulations for cluster development. This has been a lengthy process to bring this to Council tonight and to the public hearing that we are involved in. But we are approaching the last steps, and thank you to the planners and to council members for working through this, along with the residents and developers who have contributed to the conversation and to the input that we received. At this time, I will call each of the council members for the official record. So if we could just start with Councillor Reinhardt, just to record your name and your district for the record.
Morgan Reinhardt, District 1.
Martin Bell, District 2.
Wendy Oikel, District 3.
Pam Hubley, District 4.
Kathy Moore, District 5.
Mayor Elspeth McLean-Weil.
Allison Smith, District 6.
Edgar Burns, District 7.
Ben Brooks, District 9.
Chastity Vino, District 10.
This is a regulated process, so there are various steps that we take. The purpose of this public hearing is for council to receive public comment, both written and verbal, concerning the proposed amendments. The amendments involving the amendments to Bylaw 035C, Municipal Planning Strategy, and Bylaw 049A, Municipal Wide Land Use Bylaw, to include new sections outlining regulations for cluster development. Planning staff will present further details in terms of the specific changes that are being proposed, and this will be a review for us all. The hearing agenda is as follows. There will be a staff presentation, written and verbal presentations from the public, if we have any public show up in the next little bit, and a review of the next steps in the process, and then we will declare the hearing closed and we'll proceed with our regular council meeting. If any verbal presentations are being made to council, we'll ask that they speak to this public hearing to note their name and address and direct all statements to the chair, and the presentations will be limited to 10 minutes. Speakers may address the council twice, but before they speak for a second time, speakers will be requested to wait until all other citizens have had the opportunities to speak. Since we do not have in-person public attendance at this time, any citizens wishing to address, no, they can't do that now, can they? No. You have to be present. For those that may be watching online, you have to be present to participate in a public hearing. So at this point, I would ask our staff, Ella, to make a brief presentation on the amendments that are proposed for the hearing.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So as the Mayor mentioned, it was a lengthy process. There were several first readings that were done, including public information sessions. Oh. I'll repeat. So good evening, Council and Mayor. As the Mayor mentioned, this was a lengthy process. As you can see, there were several first readings that were conducted. In addition to that, several information sessions. This process did enable public input in the process, and changes were made in accordance to that. So just as a brief mention of what is cluster development for MODL, so 6 units and more are considered to be, on a single lot, are considered to be cluster development. Partially or entirely unserviced by municipal water or sewer, and that including new phases or units in a phase development, condominium with 6 or more dwelling units overall. And just to clarify that a recreational vehicle parking site is not considered to be a cluster development. Part of the process of getting cluster development done is through a development agreement, and there are several processes and criteria that a developer needs to meet in order to get the development approved, as ensuring there's the adequacy of water and sewer into the site. Some revisions were made in accordance to Council's direction, revising for the municipal planning strategy, revising section 5.3, so outlining 5.3.1a, providing exemptions until 2026, and new subsection added. The first one is 5.3.2, recognizing cluster development as non-conforming if they are not phased development condominiums, and to qualify, a developer must need to submit a building permit by 2026 in order to consider non-conforming. In addition to that, we added another subsection that enables a developer to enter into a development agreement if they choose to do so, recognizing that their development will not be done within that 12 months period of a building permit. In addition to that, we made some revisions to section 4.6 of the municipal land use bylaw, renaming the section to non-conforming cluster developments instead of non-conforming allowances to bare land or phased developments, and again, changing the dates from 2025 to 2026. And this is the project timeline. As you go, it started, as you can see, it started in 2023. We're in 2025, and it's Council's decision towards the end of this to see if we're proceeding to a second reading or not. Thank you. And if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I would ask at this point if there's any written submissions that you've received that you want to present.
Planning staff did not receive any feedback following the public information session, so there's no new information out there except from what Council already received in other public hearings.
At this point, we have no members of the public to come forward to address council. We can wait a few minutes to see if someone comes. Okay, to come for this. We'll wait a few minutes just to see if somebody comes, because I'd hate to cut it off if we're well within our time frame, and so we'll take a pause. Again, in following the procedure for this, I would ask if there are any members of the public who wish to come forward, and we still don't have anyone. And as a third and final time, I would ask if any members of the public wish to speak on these amendments to now come forward, and there is no one in the gallery, so we will move on. Just as an information point, Municipal Council may make a decision at this council meeting after the close of the public hearing, and it is part of our agenda for our regular Tuesday night council meeting. If council deems it advisable to adopt the proposed amendments to include new sections outlining regulations for cluster development, council will conduct second reading. And once council has approved the documents, they are forwarded to the Provincial Municipal Department of Affairs, or Department of Municipal Affairs for review. And upon confirmation from Municipal Affairs that the documents do not conflict with any provincial statements of interest, a notice of approval is inserted in the local newspaper advising of the adoption of these documents. The date that the public notice appears in the paper is the date the documents become effective. So I now declare this public hearing closed.